welcome back to Yarn Ranger. I'm Arpita and today I'm going to start knitting I have started knitting the Maja cardigan by We Made Wardrobe. This is a test knit for them and I'm super excited because this is my first time test knitting something and also my first time making a cardigan. The knit itself is meant for my mom, but I might just end up wearing it because we're the same size. And we share a wardrobe for, I guess, a certain degree. So this was day one, and the progress has been pretty good. I cast on the number of stitches for my size, which is the size large, and I did the short row part, and I'm just making the back section and part of the front section of this cardigan. And speaking about the yarn, I received the order package at I think 12 or 11 in the morning, and I was super happy because this was home office day and I really like receiving yarn packages right when I like opening these packages right when they come. This is the abstract yarn from Heartbeats, and this is a hand painted yarn. It's an extra fine merino, which is superwash rated. Squish factor is amazing. It does not feel scratchy to touch, and it's an amazing yarn. It has a meterage of 216 meters for every 100 grams, and it comes in skeins. This is also my first time using kit silk. It's very squishy and feels very delicate for some reason. But yeah, smells kind of nice. This has a meterage of 213 meters per 25 grams. It's quite pricey. So this is priced at 350 rupees per ball, 350 Indian rupees per 25 grams, and it has a blend of 74% mohair and 26% silk. It's also Oecotex standardized, which means that you can use it for baby knits or crochet and it won't cause an allergy. This is in the color 019. It's a very nice beige, and this is in the colorway ABS 002. And I don't know if I mentioned the price, but this is priced at 425 rupees per 100 grams. I bought 5 skeins of the abstract, and I'm holding with kit silk, so I got four balls of this. They gave in these boxes. It's quite thick, and I made gauge at the recommended needle size of 6 millimeters, holding both of these together. This is day 2 of knitting the Maja cardigan, and I'm supposed to knit this until it reaches a certain measurement. I think about 6 to 7 centimeters short, so I still need to do a couple of rows or maybe 4 rows more of flat knitting. I'm really exhausted today, so I don't think I'll get more than this row done, and then I'll probably take a measurement and see how far I've come across and call it a day. This is day 3, and I just wanted a slow start to the morning with a cup of coffee and some knitting. I think I got a couple of centimeters of knitting done. I do have to do 2 or 3 more centimeters. I think 2 more. But yeah, I'll do that once I'm back. I'm also on a shortage of these cables because I have them in another project and I might have to just put in a lifeline or an extra scrap yarn here to hold the stitches, but let's see, I'll think about it later. This is super late on day 3, but I just couldn't go to bed without sharing this. I managed to finish the back panel and start the right shoulder, as in right shoulder when you're wearing the cardigan. It's probably not a good representation of the progress so far and the fuzziness or softness, but it's absolutely pretty, and I wish I had a fully done, fully finished cardigan right now so I could wear. This is day 4 of me knitting the Maja cardigan, and here's an update. I finished knitting the front panel up to the prescribed length, and I'm just going to put it on spare needles and get started with the left shoulder. So the pattern asks you to knit for 28 centimeters in the back for my size, but I only knit up to 25 because I was not sure at the first go. So once I'm done with both these panels, I'll knit up the back and then join them. Here's an update of things that happened between day 4 and today, that is day 8. I accidentally knitted these increases in the underarm section for the right front panel, so I had to redo that. I frogged it separately and I did that. I also joined my second ball of mohair and second ball of the main yarn. I'm planning to knit the body until I finish the current ball of main yarn, which is abstract yarn from Heartbeats India and the Kid Silk. So I'm planning to use up at least the whole of the abstract yarn and then get started with the sleeves. This is day 15 of knitting the Maja cardigan, and I finished the second ball of the abstract yarn on the body. My plan was to finish this section and then move on to the sleeves so I can come back to the sleeves later on. This is my first time test knitting for somebody, and while I have test crocheted for someone, this is a more or less similar but different experience. It's been really nice so far, and I think we have a little less than a month, maybe 3 weeks more to finish up the pattern, finish up our samples, and it's been a very nice experience because you get to interact with a lot of other people knitting and with various experiences, so you get to see what kind of modifications or what kind of changes people have been adding to this and what suggestions others have while doing a certain technique. So that's been very nice, and so far the testing process was really nice and I enjoyed doing it, and I think there's plenty of time to finish it. Our deadline is around 15th of December if I'm not wrong, and yeah, it's the 22nd, well, the 21st if I had gone to bed some time ago, but yeah, it's around the 21st of November, and I think there's plenty of time to knit this cardigan because A, it's knit on quite large needles, and B, this is a relatively faster knit. As I've mentioned before, this is my first time knitting a cardigan, and I did not think it would be so smooth. I'm not a hater when it comes to purling. I don't find it as annoying, but I always thought that purling for longer periods of time would just make it really slow or unengaging, but that's not the point. And I knit continental, because that's sort of how I learned to knit first, because I crocheted and then it was more natural for me to hold the yarn on my left hand. Also, unrelated or related, not sure, but my left hand is usually my dominant hand, but I am not a lefty. As such, I do write with my right hand. But yeah, I just prefer doing a lot of activity with my left. So I think it was just very natural for me to hold the yarn on my left, and I do the same thing for purling. Not purling over here, but yeah, I would just hold it front and just pull the stitch there. So it's very intuitive for me to do it that way. And I don't have a, my gauge is usually this almost the same, knitting in the round or flat or purling or knitting. So I'm not very specific about those details. Maybe I should be, maybe not, but yeah. And yeah, if a pattern suggests I need to knit in the round for the gauge, I will knit in the round for the gauge. But otherwise, I can use my in the round knitting and flat knitting simultaneously. I do hate purling when it, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of purling when it comes to swatches, but as a project on the whole, but on the whole, for a cardigan, I'm happy to note that I don't find it annoying, because that would be really sad for me. I do want to knit some cute cardigans in the future, so while I could stick it because I do like knitting in the round, I think it's a small pleasure or just relief knowing that, okay, purling all the way around, all the way for the whole body, especially for a slightly oversized body, is not as annoying as I thought it would be. To be honest, I also thought doing sleeves would be annoying, but they're not. This is definitely not my first time doing sleeves, but I don't like crocheting sleeves for some reason. This is day 22 of knitting the Maja cardigan. I did the sleeves and I also knit up a little more on the body. I'm not sure how much. It's currently at around 47 centimeters, and I think I need to knit maybe 3 or 4 more rows before I can do the horizontal stitch or the Latvian braid and get started on the ribbing section. I really like the Latvian braid detail on this cardigan, and if I had planned better or knew better, I would have made this in a contrast color, maybe a black or one of these grays and blues, and then switch to doing this. I don't know if I've mentioned this or if I'm going to delete the clip where I've mentioned this before, but I decided to use a plain white wool. This is the wool I used to hold with the main yarn. It's just a pure wool from Vardhaman yarn. It's an old yarn that I was gifted as a hand-me-down from my mom's friend, and I decided to use it for the cuffs, the ribbing on the body, and the button band and the neckline, everything else, so that it'll be a nice contrast, one. And reason two, I did not know or want mohair on the sleeves and the neckline region. My mom might be a little sensitive to wool compared to me. I know this is a little bit prickly, and based on the swatch and wear test from this, I feel it's going to be much more smoother, but I'm not very sure, so I did not want any of it in the neckline or the arm region. Just before I restarted knitting on the body, I had the idea that this would make such a cute shrug or a short sleeved cardigan. So I might do that sometime. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's very cute otherwise. This is the final piece, some project details and how it looks on my mom. She wore it when we went to a Christmas cake show slash market to see a giant Christmas tree made out of cake. It smelled like a bakery filled with buttercream frosted cake and made me wish there was actual cake to eat. Circling back to the project details, the pattern is very clear and it works up quickly. The drop shoulder and the approximately 6 inch of positive ease gives you a very laid back and cozy look. I also love the horizontal stitch detail and the collar, although I slightly messed up the increases, but I'm telling myself that it's okay. If I do knit this again, I'm going to skip using the kid silk because it sheds a lot. I'm not sure if this shedding will reduce with time and wear, but I have to wait and watch. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this video and are having a great end of the year. Bye bye.